Almonds are my livelihood. There's 3 families in this farm that are provided an income from producing almonds. We always think about the next generation. We always hope that the next generation is going to be able to farm.
The current state of almonds today, just to point out the success of the industry, the acreage has doubled over the last 10, 15 years, and so have the crops have doubled. And that indicates that something's being done right. But we do have challenges and issues that we will be facing in the future.
Many people think that agriculture is this static industry, when in fact it's quite dynamic. With climate change, with increased regulations, and all of those things that affect agricultural production, change has to be embraced.
It takes open-mindedness, it takes collaboration, it takes strategic long-term thinking, and willingness to work with groups that may not seem like allies at the beginning.
Most farmers, when they see those names and everything, they think, okay, no, this is the other side. But it's so obvious now that it's not the other side. We call them unconventional alliances. I think we need to change that, because these are very conventional. These make all the sense in the world for growers to be a part of and for growers to continue.
From my perspective, the Almond Board is doing a really good job of matchmaking and bringing those groups together.
And partnerships are key to our work. It's really exciting, and that's why I'm thrilled to be working with the Almond Board of California, because they're just a really innovative and progressive partner in the agriculture industry.
Because of the network that they already have, because of the research programs they have in place, and the partnerships they have in the research community, I think the Almond Board is really well suited to lead the assessment of almonds for recharge.
Biggest driver for why this research, why now, is just water. We all know that the demands on water are going up, the supplies of water aren't particularly going up. We want to manage it better.
The larger sense issues are basically management of water resources in the state. The groundwater is a very effective storage reservoir for water.
We're trying to see if we can recharge the aquifer in the wintertime in an almond orchard without having any detrimental effect to the almonds.
Say, we've got excess water on the river during flood events. We could actually capture that excess water, park it underground for dry years.
Not everybody has the access to water in the wintertime, but if we can do something that would benefit the groundwater as well as benefit our production, I mean, that's going to benefit a lot of people.
Almond Board wanted to ask the very smart question, well, what was there before? We did an analysis that looked at almond orchards now and a spatial map of what some crops were there before, put them on top of each other and said, okay, now it's an almond orchard, what was it before?
Now we know quantitatively that 96% of the time, those new almond orchard areas that we mapped fell within the historically irrigated area of the Central Valley.
It addresses the concern of people saying, oh, we've had all this almond expansion into areas that have previously not been irrigated.
My initial research was looking at, can we put these wood chips back in the ground and will it not stunt the trees? I think the main goal of this whole orchard recycling project was to show that we can put all this organic matter back in the ground and the trees can grow and we can see a benefit from that.
I've been involved with a large research project that was throughout the state of California. We were trying to find out how much nitrogen does it take to produce a crop, when is the best time to apply it. Once we found out the total need, we chose to take a look at when should it be applied in small amounts. Better utilization of an input to end up in our crop.
So the value of the work we're doing with the Almond Board is really to be able to generate more revenue for the growers. We're taking the research that's been done previously and figuring out which of those practices generate the largest greenhouse gas reductions. And then using those practices and developing models or ways of calculating and measuring those reductions. And then creating a standard so that those can be measured and put into California's cap and trade marketplace. So by changing their practices slightly, they can maintain their yield, increase their profit, and decrease their environmental impact.
So what we once thought was unconventional truly has turned out to be very conventional. And these partnerships are already bearing fruit for the almond industry.
The role that the agricultural industry can play is significant in this. The almond industry in particular has the responsibility as a leader of sustainability management to show how an industry can really lead that effort.
We're at the start of something that could be very transformative. We could find ways to feed the world and do it in a way that minimizes the environmental footprint. And that's exciting.
Farming is like a lot of things. If you stand still, you fall behind. And so we have to look forward to the future of what we can do, how we can do things better. You know, we are stewards of the land. We tend to farm in generations. So I look at it as a benefit for future generations.